people, welcome to the channel. Blue Dragon here with a quick vid rainbow tutorial for iMovie users. This can be used for other video editors as well, I'm sure, such as VideoPad, which is what I used to use before I transferred over to iMovie, whichever one this is, whatever, doesn't matter. Hope this is useful, probably won't be. Onward and forward. First, what you need to do is open a new document in iMovie. Next, drop in the colored JPEGs you conveniently had ready for this project. For those of you curious, the size that I used was 1280 by 720 pixels. That's 1280 by 720 pixels. The colors I used were Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. But you can also not be as lazy as me and perhaps use more hue variations to smoothly transition from one hue to the next. Next up, reorder the rainbow slides, or I guess tiles, in the order in which you want them. I don't know how they got alphabetized, but that's what happened there, so I had to reorder everything. You can lengthen or shorten the rainbow video to however long you like. If you want to have a fast flash, you would need to make the color tiles be there for a shorter period of time. Just play around, have fun. If you want things to be faster, then make the tile smaller. If you want it to go slower, make the tiles last longer. Next thing that I do is I name this file. You can do that if you want. You don't have to, but it makes things easier. Then you export by clicking the little box with the arrow pointing out of it in the upper right hand corner. Select export file, rename it if you wish, choose where to export it. You want it on like the desktop, or you have a specific nested folder that you keep it in. I choose that at that time. Next up, you wait, and you wait, and you wait until it's done. It's actually not too slow here. Next, I'm going to show you how I poorly utilize this thing that I created. But we got a little chibi drawing that I was doing for early 2021 for New Year, apparently. Yeah, you can see how long I've been sitting on this. I need to get my ass in gear. At the time of recording this, I haven't done anything yet. Uh-oh. So I have this chibi drawing of Kana and Ren from my free, not safe for work webcomic, Dark Horse. Ren's looking particularly coked out right here in this image. So, drop your video folder, or your video file, that footage that you have, just drop it right in on top of whatever you're putting it on in the video. Go up to the opacity setting and lower the opacity to your desired transparency. Because my video flash was recorded too slowly for what I want to do with this, I also go up to the speed controls and I crank that up so that it will flash to the speed that I wish. Then you're going to realize that you've done fucked up your tutorial video right in the middle of it, and your file isn't working. That's okay. If every soybean were perfect, we wouldn't have tempeh. So what you're going to do next is, if you fucked up like I did, go back to your original file. I look at it. I don't know how the fuck it got messed up. Sometimes it's actually not your fault and things just export stupidly for some reason. Don't have a clue. But I just re-export the exact same file, and when it's done exporting, I look at the file first to make sure that it's got all the colors I want, and it does. So, okay, let's catch up to where we were. Where were we? We were changing the speed, yada yada. I kind of do it in reverse order this time. I changed the speed first and then the opacity, but whatever. Okay, now I piss around a little bit, push things around here and there, and I wanted to add a little bit of flavor text to kind of punctuate the joke here. So the flavor text I'm going to drop in the front, because you can't for some reason stack all that stuff. You could in iMovie, instead of dropping in an image like I did here, I was doing my text sometimes separately so that it had the font to match my branding. But I didn't figure out that I could just use the titles that can drop over in iMovie too, which is something that I do now more often whenever I need to. But even then, things don't stack higher than like 3 things tall. So I don't know. It's probably to keep the files from getting too big and too confused. It's not Photoshop. It's not Photoshop. Anyway, voila! We've got a nicely done half-assed special effect. Let's take a minute to see how I used it in the video. This is just gonna take a second. We don't know, I mean, if she can change the future or not. I don't think she can. Yeah. And we're back! You can see that I was just kind of being a smartass. Most people probably don't even watch what I'm doing, so it's only, you only notice it because I'm just answering questions in this Q&A from January of 2021. But if somebody happens to be watching the video, they will see me making fun of it, and anyway, I know it's there, so it made me chuckle. Anyway, that's all I got. If you made something like this, how would you use it in your video? I'll see y'all next week. Peace and love. Fare you well. And keep on trucking.